Cyber Country Outdoors, right now, on demand globally 24/7, 365. Cyber Country Outdoors, right here, right now.
Here we go.
You're on! Oh yeah, nice fish.
Come on, baby. In the boat. He's in the boat.
Yeah, juicy. I'm starting to have fun.
Welcome to Southwest Florida Outdoors, your #1 hometown adventure. Southwest Florida Outdoors is a true mix of persona, skill, and hometown how-to that covers the universe of inshore and offshore angling. So join us now as our special guests and extraordinary pro guide staff deliver your information edge.
Welcome to Southwest Florida Outdoors. I'm Dave Justice, and today I'll be fishing with a good friend of mine, Alex Rodriguez, for trophy snook.
So tell me, David, what is the game plan here?
Bridge hopping. We're gonna go and we're gonna catch live ladyfish off of lighted bridges, and we're gonna fish a few around the lighted bridges, and then we're gonna go to what we call daybreak bridges, and we're gonna fish right at first sunup up under these little bridges, and we're gonna catch these line-sighted trolls that are laying under the bridge.
Great, sounds great to me. You sure you're gonna pull this one off?
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a live ladyfish, about a 12-inch ladyfish, and we're gonna hook him in the back of the head with a 8-0. Make sure you get enough meat between the gap there, because a ladyfish tears pretty easily. I'm gonna run over here and drop him in the shadow. What I'm doing is I'm fishing the downcurrent side of this bridge, and I'm letting the bait swing out through the shadow. So I'm pitching it back under the bridge 8 or 10 feet, letting it go deep back out through the shadow, and the fish should be positioned out 10 to 15 feet in the light, waiting for stuff to drift out of the shadow. And on the other side of the bridge, it's the same thing, but they'll be waiting in the shadow, looking into the light actually. So, two different approaches. There's a snook just swam by over here. Nice little 10-pounder. He ate that big old ladyfish. Kind of an oddball. One thing about bridge fishing, you gotta watch out for carbs. Wow, there's a big tarpon jumped out there. Throat hooked mullet. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pitch him out from the bridge in front of the second shadow line. There's a shadow that's way out from the bridge, and then there's a tight shadow. I usually work the bait through both shadows and apply a little tension to the bait to force him to flip upside down, and by applying tension, the bait will actually dive to the bottom without the use of a sinker. It's an old East Coast snook trick, and it works really well. When you get chased, basically the mullet just makes a quick erratic run from, sometimes the run maybe 10 or 15 yards away from the fish, trying to get away from it. And if the fish is really interested, he'll go ahead and chase it down and eat it. But thus far with this live mullet, they're just chasing and not eating. But they will eat. They're gonna get ticked off here in a minute and eat this mullet. But the thing to remember about this is when you have a bait and it gets chased, you wanna offer as little resistance as possible so that the bait won't flip unnaturally. So you want to free spool it when the bait gets chased. And when it gets bit, no matter how big the bait is, you don't want to give them any time to eat it, just as long as it takes you to flip your reel in gear and wind down and set the hook. Because a snook has a huge mouth anyway, and even with a 12 to 18-inch ladyfish, on the initial thump, that ladyfish is gone. It's already on the back of his throat. So there's no need for drop backs with this type of fishing. When I make a cast and my bait's out away from the bridge, rather than flip it in gear and wind down to get it back to me, I use my thumb to keep the line even on the reel. You keep it pretty tight on the reel. I just control it with my thumb, and that way I can control the speed with which a bait is going to go away from me as well. and I can control backlashes if a fish decides to eat it real hard. But the main thing is you've got to keep it in free spool at all times, and the easiest way to do that, to be ready for a bite, is to use your thumb to keep the line tight on the reel. You'll notice that I hop around from spot to spot on the bridge because there's different feeding locations that the snook occupy, and basically if you don't get a bite in one spot and 2 or 3 drifts through there, you should move up to the next spot and then keep doing a circle of the spots. And a lot of times when you see the bait obviously being spooked out of one stall on a bridge, you should go over there because there's fish there. It's interesting, there was a study done where they photographed fish in the exact same spot every year, and they took the negatives, and their eyeballs were in the exact same millimeter spot every year that they were the year before, and the year before that, and the year before that. So that theory was called seats in a restaurant. And on these bridges, there's different seats in the restaurant.
Cyber Country Outdoors is filmed before a live audience.